Good morning, good looking people, and you're good looking because you're always looking, and of course, you are finding the good in everything and in everybody. Hope you're well, hope you had a great weekend. Today is the 5th of Shevat. Today actually is another angle from what we talked about on the 7th of Teves. There's a concept of what we talked about which is called Chibud HaKever and Kaf HaKela. These are two punishments that the soul can go under after 120 years. One is talking about purgatory of the grave, and the other one is a hollow slingshot where the soul gets passed around from different places, and it's a very painful experience. And really the emphasis that we talked about there and what we're emphasizing again today is that by having Torah memorized in our minds, so that we have really a great database of Torah in our brains. So as we walk in the streets and we can say Tehillim, or we can say Mishnayos by heart, or other parts of the Torah, this not only elevates ourselves and our environments, but this also acts as a protection for the soul that, God forbid, after 120 years, that the soul shouldn't have to endure these events. Now, the reason why this is being brought up today is in Rambam, as of yesterday, which was the 4th of Shevat, the mitzvahs of Rambam were discussing matzah and discussing chametz. That's where they're up to in Rambam. And after those halachas are then shofar, sukkah, and lulav, which are the next holidays. Now, what's very interesting is the lulav. Shaking the lulav on Sukkot actually has a very unique quality that it is actually a protective to the soul, and it helps fight all the different prosecutors after 120 years. So as a person does the mitzvah of lulav and esrog, that is a protection to their soul, especially when it comes to these two events. And being that the Rambam is now discussing these laws, that's why it's also being connected to the day. Let's read this inside, and then I'll give you some notes, and then share with you the thought and comment for the day. So for the 5th of Shevat, it says, one should verbalize the letters of Torah profusely, saying Tehillim and reviewing Mishnayos wherever and whenever he can, in order to strengthen the continued existence of the world, to protect himself from Chibud HaKever and Kaf HaKela, and to merit the highest revelations. So there's two parts there. First of all, it says about strengthening the world. By us saying Torah, the world was created with the letters of Torah. So by us continuously saying Torah, by us having Torah memorized, and we talked about it on the 7th of Teves, so there's more data there, and I'll put the link in the bottom of the video. But essentially, there are certain places where we can verbalize, certain things we can't, certain Torahs that we should know by heart, some of them we can't. But ideally is to have at least what it's saying here, to have some Tehillim and Mishnayos in our hearts, in our head. We say Baal Peh by heart, so that wherever we go, we can continuously say this to protect us. And also at the same time, because we're using the letters of the Torah, we're also bringing this world into being, which is pretty awesome at the same time. Now, a couple of notes. First of all, the Chidah, which was very famous tzaddik, had a lot of svarim, he mentioned that whoever learns the Zohar, whoever learns Tehillim, and whoever learns Mishnayos, it protects him in this world and also in the next world, and it's not even a doubt. So by knowing Zohar and studying Zohar, by studying Tehillim and by studying Mishnayos, you have this protection as well. And also it says, studying Torah in this world and studying Mishnayos in this world and saying Tehillim in this world protects a person from three different judgments. The judgment in this world, it says the judgment of the angel of death, and also the judgment when it comes to Gehenna, and also these items that we talked about, which was Chibud HaKever and Kaf HaKela. And the most important is, and it has a note here about the Rebbe, that when the Rebbe used to walk from his house to 770, if anybody ever saw him, he was constantly moving his lips. He always was saying something, some Torah, some Mishnayos, whatever it was, and he also encouraged a lot of the schools that there was always this push to have Mishnayos Baal Peh, that the students should always have a database in their mind of at least knowing Mishnayos Baal Peh, to know it by heart. And these things in our heart and these things in our minds, and walking in the streets and knowing and saying these saying Tehillim or saying Mishnayos or Torah, just in general, not only has an existence and creates this world, but it also protects us in the world to come and also these events later on. So as we said in the 7th of Teves, let's focus on the positivity. We're already learning Torah. We're already doing all different types of classes online and having our YouTube and WhatsApp classes. So we're already pushing the limits of learning. Let's do a little bit more. On the 7th of Teves, we talked about a person should go at least 4 hours a day. Hopefully we can get there soon, but the idea is to really make an effort, to really push and try to memorize something, have something on your lips, even if you have to take some Mishnayos and learn it in the theme of a song so that you got something in your mouth that you can remember. Do it. It's great. There's a lot of Jewish singers that have a lot of Mishnayos in their songs, and it'll be a great way to at least get something going. Have a wonderful day. Have a great and successful week, and we'll talk more tomorrow.